Hey girlies and ghoulies, and welcome to the Girly Ghost Tales podcast.
We're your hosts for this evening. I'm Amber.
And I'm Leah.
And this is a supernatural podcast about ghost stories, ghost hunting, conspiracies, witchcraft, haunted objects, places, even people, and everything in between with a little bit of girl talk mixed in.
What more could you ask for? Tonight we have some bone-chilling, spine-tingling tales and tropes for you to sink your teeth into. This episode is all about urban legends.
So sit back, grab some popcorn, and get comfy.
And to the grave we go.
The Hat Man is a phenomenon commonly seen during sleep paralysis, in which witnesses report seeing a shadowy entity dressed in an old top hat, on some occasions, and on others a fedora-type hat, and sometimes a trench coat. A temporary inability to move or speak while falling asleep or upon waking is what sleep paralysis is. Apparently I didn't finish that sentence. Sleep paralysis most often occurs in people who have narcolepsy or sleep apnea, but it can affect anyone. Episodes involve not being able to speak or move while falling asleep or upon waking up. This usually lasts 1 to 2 minutes and is often frightening.
This sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
No, and I am terrified
I know,
that
me
it will
too.
happen to me one day.
I'm scared I'm gonna manifest it
I
by
know.
thinking about it so much.
I know, I always think they say that it happens most if you sleep on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't usually sleep on my back, but there are some times where I just am not comfortable, so that's the best way.
Yeah.
But if I fall asleep on my back, I usually put an eye mask over my eyes.
Yeah.
So I'm if I do wake up, I'm not seeing anything. The main treatment is improved sleep habits, including going to bed at the same time every night, ensuring a comfortable sleep environment, free of distractions, and avoiding caffeine before sleeping. Didn't know there was a treatment for it, but
I didn't either. I thought it just happened.
Yeah. Sleep paralysis has baffled scientists for centuries. The earliest clinical account of sleep paralysis dates back to 1664, when a Dutch physician described it as the incubus or the nightmare affecting one of his patients.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the years, sleep paralysis has also been explained as the result of black magic curse, mythical monsters, or even demons. Egyptians used to believe a jinn was behind sleep paralysis, while indigenous people in South Africa believed it was caused by Tokoloshi, a dwarf-like water spirit.
That sounds scary.
Yeah. Likewise, the Turkish believed the Karabashin, sorry, I'm not pronouncing these well.
Yeah, I'm not going to be good at pronouncing some stuff either.
Were behind the phenomenon. It wasn't until the 20th century that scientists and physicians started to move away from the mythological explanations and look into a physical explanation for the phenomenon. Although it remains poorly understood, sleep paralysis is now believed to be caused by a brain glitch that disrupts an important signal. During REM sleep, your body is paralyzed to prevent you from falling off the bed or acting out dreams that could result in hurting yourself or others. This paralysis automatically switches off as you come out of REM sleep and start to wake up, but not in the case of sleep paralysis. Because of this glitch in your brain, your body remains in a paralyzed state as you wake and refuses to move at all. It's a strange, terrifying experience, and it often comes paired with hallucinations and the appearance of imaginary creatures like the Hat Man. The Hat Man acts like a ghost and is almost always seen just standing there. This form can simply fade until the witness no longer sees it and has no apparent reaction to people. For example, many people have reported bumping into this entity, which does absolutely nothing for seconds or minutes, then moves around a bit and just vanishes, as if it couldn't see who bumped into it. So, I'm assuming these people are just in their home at night. They just walk into it
on accident.
Yeah.
He's just in people's homes.
Yeah. He's just hanging out.
Walking around.
Unlike a ghost who might have visible features, the Hat Man is a shadow with no details. However, it is not always reported to be harmless. The Hat Man has sometimes been mentioned as a distinct entity, and many times witnesses report that they feel utter terror upon seeing it. Many people have reported that this entity feeds on their terror and does not vanish. He simply walks away as any normal person would.
Hmm.
Which then I would think that there was an intruder in my home.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Yeah.
be like, sir, where'd you go?
Yeah.
That was pretty much all that I could really find description-wise on him.
Mm-hmm.
So then I have a few stories that I found. I was a bartender at a small hotel in Cincinnati for a year. It is known not widely for being haunted. Chef, manager, and several workers have seen a 6 to 7 foot tall shadowy figure with a pinstripe suit and fedora standing or floating past them. One night around 2 a.m., a coworker and I were doing paperwork. She left the dining room to put it away, turned the corner, and immediately backed up. She turned to me with tears in her eyes and said she saw the Hat Man. Freaked me the hell out. I've never personally seen it or anything particularly spooky. However, I slept in one of the rooms one night. A woman died of a heart attack in it a couple years prior. It was the only time that I'd ever had sleep paralysis. There was no more to that story, but I wonder if she saw anything when she had the sleep paralysis.
I wonder why, if it's like a glitch in your brain, like why does everybody see the same Hat Man?
Yeah. That's like.
And like it dates back to like the 1600s?
Yeah.
Or is that just sleep paralysis and not the Hat Man?
I think that's just sleep paralysis. Okay. I didn't find anything like the first sighting of him.
Mm-hmm. It's still like weird though that like thousands, probably more than thousands of people all see like the same person. If it's just your own brain.
Yeah. And like not everybody knows about the Hat Man.
Yeah, so it's not like they would like be manifesting it from knowing about it.
Ugh. This one says, when I was about 14, I lived in a house with my mom and abusive stepdad. Most of our fights occurred outside my room at the end dark area of the hallway. One night I awoke to what I thought was my mom messing with me, standing in my doorway to scare me. I kept yelling at her to stop until I woke up some and noticed that it was actually a very tall, dark shadow wearing a wide-brimmed hat and a long trench coat. I have literally never experienced fear like this in my entire life since, and felt sick as if I couldn't breathe. I told her about it the next day. I accidentally overheard her on the phone with a friend later that day, and my mom telling the friend, Lacey saw it too, and I about died.
Oh my god.
I ended up asking her about it, and she told me that she had seen the Hat Man at the same spot, dark part of the hallway by my room, 2 times while walking by vacuuming in the living room. She tried to make me feel better by telling me it was someone watching over me. A few years ago, I'm now 35, my boyfriend's son asked me, do you ever feel like someone's watching us? And proceeded to give him the exact description of the Hat Man outside of his bedroom in the hallway.
Oh my god.
Where a lot of our arguments and turmoil tend to occur. I truly believe that it's a demon that follows you to places of turmoil and anything negative.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I've read that it's like sleep paralysis and the Hat Man. I read that it's when you're like going through trauma or if you're in a really dark, bad place, you're more likely to experience stuff like that.
And then I have one more. I came home on leave from the Army in 1999 for New Year's. I brought my medic, a fellow engineer, our radio guy, and my MP girlfriend for the week. We stayed up and watched the ball drop. We didn't drink because we were going to be traveling further north early in the morning. We all fell asleep on the giant couches, and the TV was on, but the cable box was off. The TV had a dull black light coming from it. I woke up sometime around 2 a.m. and saw this figure standing in front of the couches. I thought it may have been my dad or my brothers trying to check on us. I tried to sit up and speak, but couldn't. I started feeling stressed that I couldn't move. The black fuzzy outline of someone in a wide-brimmed hat just slowly moved his head back and forth, watching us sleep. I couldn't make out any specific features, and I felt like I was locked out of the use of my body. The figure turned and ducked under a 10-foot tall room divider doorway. Didn't make a sound. I shot up off the couch, woke up my friends, and we searched the house and garage. My parents woke up, and all I could say was, "Something is here." We lived on a long country road, and it'd be impossible to sneak into the house without the dogs going bananas. Something was definitely there watching us sleep. What it was, I have no idea. It's the only encounter I've ever had that couldn't be explained. I drive past that house every few years, and it always bothers me. Whatever this thing is, it's real.
That's scary.
Yeah. Just, I feel like watching it and then, like, it moving its head back and forth, I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, no, thank you.
Like, I wonder, like, does he do anything to the people?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like.
Like he just tries to scare you or something and
Yeah,
then leaves you alone?
that's kind of what it seems like. He just, like, watches you, and
Mm-hmm.
then a lot of people, like, just get, like, the worst scary feeling,
Yeah.
like, absolutely terrified.
He must just like scaring people.
Yeah,
Like, he must get, like, their energy or
feeds off of
something.
them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was really, really all that I could find. I was hoping to find, like, scarier stories, but I mean, these ones were scary, but
Mm-hmm.
I was really wanting something spooky. But
Once we get some listener emails
yes,
in, I'm sure there's tons of people that experience, like, and have seen the Hat Man.
yeah,
Yeah, I've like all the topics we've done so far when I've been like researching stories, there's not like very many like stories about like true stories about the stuff that we've like covered so far.
yeah. I know. I expected to find more
Like tons,
because this
yeah.
is like a very common thing that people
Mhm.
see. So
Yeah.
I thought I'd find more, but yeah, there really. I looked on Reddit and there really wasn't a lot. And then I do have one more, but this one's more of an urban legend turned true crime.
Ooh.
The urban legend of Cropsey.
Ooh, I feel like I've that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was like googling urban legends and then I saw that one and I was like, I feel like I've either like watched a YouTube video about it or like
I feel
listened to
like
another podcast about
I
it.
feel like Two Girls One Ghost did it.
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's yeah. Once I was like really reading into it, I was like, this is
Mhm.
really familiar. Like I for
Yeah.
sure read
It
this or
sounds super familiar
yeah.
and I don't even know what it is.
So Cropsey was an urban legend of Staten Island through the 1970s, through the 80s. Cropsey was attributed to the disappearance of many children until it was determined that Cropsey was an actual serial killer and kidnapper. The tales of Cropsey's origin and what exactly made him mad are a bit debated, but they begin with a family tragedy. In short, a father loses his whole family, or at least his children, while on the shores of a small summer cottage near Maston Lake, which was also near a summer camp. After the death of his family or children slash child, George Cropsey, a once respected businessman, goes insane. Typically, in these stories, the reason for the death is an irresponsible camper or camp staff member causing a fire that gets out of control and kills George Cropsey's loved ones. He then disappears for several weeks only to return by the end of the summer and take his revenge on the campers. Campers also reported to be murdered, hurt, or threatened. The camp staff tries to make a stand, and the authorities are called in, but all efforts are futile. Cropsey continues to evade and escape, and his body is never discovered. To this day, strange voices, threatening symbols, and even sightings can be seen by campers. So that's like the urban legend of it. Many of the legends describe Cropsey as an escaped mental patient who lived at the abandoned Willowbrook Mental Institution, who would come out late at night and snatch kids off the streets. He was most often described either wielding a bloody axe or a hook for a hand. Um, so the first one kind of sounds like, was it Jason from?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's like what I was thinking too when you were
yeah.
reading that.
And then I feel like the mental institution, there's always that
There's
one.
always that for like every legend.
Yeah. Cropsy's true identity was that of Andre Rand. Andre worked as a custodian at the Willowbrook State School of Staten Island. That year, he took out a school bus with 11 kids in it without authorization from the school and drove the bus to New Jersey's Newark, I can't even say it, Liberty International Airport. While his kidnapping attempt came to nothing, it was not clear why he did it.
What?
Yeah, he was given a 10-month sentence and the kids
10 months?
Yeah.
For trying to kidnap 11 kids?
Yeah, he just, like, took them in a school bus to the airport and that was that. Like, he didn't...
Imagine, like, how traumatized those kids are.
I'd be like, where are we going?
Yeah.
What is happening?
That's crazy.
And then just to, like, bring him to the airport and then, like, that's it.
Yeah. Like,
so weird.
Where was he gonna go?
Yeah, what was the purpose here?
Is he gonna buy 12 plane tickets somewhere?
Oh my gosh, imagine, that'd be so expensive.
Yeah.
Although this was the, what did I say, 70s? Yeah, it's probably cheap then.
Yeah.
Rand was never a trustworthy person to the parents in the area. Parents would see Rand randomly hanging out with kids, although he was much older than them. He would try to befriend them, go on walks with them, and even take them to the local diner for a bite.
I know a few people like Rand.
Yeah. Now, all this might seem good-natured, but his intentions were never clear, and he creeped the parents and children out to a great extent.
Yeah.
Apart from his random kidnapping of the busload of school children, he would also often be the last person seen with missing children. It was only in the year 1987 that things would change in Staten Island. That year, 12-year-old Jennifer Schwager would disappear. In 1988, Andre would be taken into custody for kidnapping and first-degree murder of the child. It was the first disappearance with which Rand was legally tied. However, it was not the last one. In the same year, he would be accused of the disappearance of kids like Alice, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Pereira, Holly Ann Hughes, Tia Jackson, and Hank Gafforio.
Those are some
wild
hard
names.
Last names to pronounce.
He would only be charged with the kidnapping of Holly Ann Hughes. The interesting and terrifying facts about these charges is that while the jury was able to find out that it was Rand who kidnapped the children, it could never be proven that he murdered them. He was convicted of kidnapping on both counts. His sentence, however, reflected the extreme nature of his crimes, which would put him behind bars until 2037. He would only come out of prison if he lives to his 90s. As more comes to light, it becomes clear that Cropsy was not just a scary story told to frighten people. Sometimes an urban legend can be very real.
Oh my gosh.
There's definitely more details. I watched a YouTube video about it, and that video had like a bunch of details, but I had already written everything, and I was like, well. So, and then this is a nice picture of him.
Oh my gosh, no, he's creepy. He looks like he would be like looking to bring little kids to like restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
He looks off.
Yeah, he does not look well. The unibrow. It's the unibrow for me.
Yeah, and like his eyes look
like dead.
Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah, imagine. What did I say? He was sentenced in like...
So he should get out in 12 years if he's alive?
Yeah. I guess I didn't look to see if he was still alive. I think he was. I didn't see anywhere that he's died.
Like, how can they not charge him for murder, but they can charge him for kidnapping?
Yeah.
Him? Like, obviously he did it.
Yeah.
If he kidnapped him.
I was gonna say, what, did you just kidnap him? And
for
then
someone else like,
came in and...
Go.
Yeah.
Here's your kids to murder. Bye.
Oh, a little side hustle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally. Like, what?
Oh, so yeah. That was that.
For mine, I did Bloody Mary.
My biggest nightmare as a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. Like, I'm still scared of it.
I know. I
Like,
don't
when I
like to look in
was...
the mirror at night.
No, I know. I was, like, doing the research and stuff, and I had to go pee, and I went in the bathroom, and I was, like, not looking in the mirror, because I wrote it and, like, said it, like, 100 times, and, like, I've been watching videos of people saying it, and
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I hope I'm not, like, I hope it's not bad that I'm,
Yeah.
like, watching all this stuff. It's gonna, like, manifest her.
I know. I go, like, when I go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I don't turn the light on because
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta stay as sleepy as
Mm-hmm.
possible.
I know, me too.
And, like, my bathroom's so small. So every once in a while I'll, like, stand up and just, like, see my reflection out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, oh my God, who's in here?
I know. I like hate mirrors. Like at night, they're so creepy.
I know. Yeah.
Especially because a lot of people believe mirrors are portals,
Yes.
which I do believe too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, it just freaks me out.
I also have, like, a full length, like, a giant mirror in my closet in my bedroom, and I keep my closet door open. I don't know. Oh, because my door broke, and then so it had to stay open, and now it's fixed. But
Yeah.
so I just keep it open. So if I wake up in the night to, like, go to the bathroom, I try to avoid looking into my closet because
I
it's
know. I
giant.
literally will do this, like,
Yeah.
you know where that mirror is in like my bedroom, like right by the door when you walk in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of by our bed, like it's here and our bed is over here. Like I have to walk past it and I'll literally go like, this, and there's another mirror right next to the bathroom that like is directly in front of me when I'm walking towards it. So I'll like do that again and I will not
just like squint
look
your
at
eyes.
them. I don't know why it freaks me out so much.
It's just like the worst time to see something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was, I mean, it would still be scary during the day to see something.
Yeah.
But
at night, and I usually wake up at like 2 or 3 in the morning if I have to pee. So
Me
that's like the
too.
scariest time.
Oh, it's the worst. I know when I wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, if it's like the clock says anywhere between 2 and 3, I'm like, I just pretend that it didn't.
I know. I feel like every time I wake up, it's like 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like whenever I have to pee, and it always just like freaks me out. I like started not even looking at the time until I like get back into my bed because I'll get like scared to go out there and go pee.
Ugh. Anyway.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. Chant her name 3 times and she's said to appear. But what really happens when you dare to summon the Queen of Bathroom Mirror legends? Bloody Mary is a legend of a ghost, phantom, witch, or spirit conjured to reveal the future. She is said to appear in a mirror when her name is chanted repeatedly. The Bloody Mary apparition may be benevolent or malevolent, depending on historical variations of the legend. Bloody Mary appearances are mostly witnessed in group participation play. So, historically, the divination ritual encouraged young women to walk up a flight of stairs backwards, holding a candle and a hand mirror in a darkened house as they gazed into the mirror. They were supposed to be able to catch a view of their future husband's face. There was, however, a chance that they would see a skull instead, indicating that they were going to die before they would have the chance to marry.
I do remember hearing about that. I forgot that was part of the legend.
I know. I like read that and I was like, wait, that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
I like completely forgot about that, but there's so many different like views and like different, I can't even think of the word, like different legends, I guess, that people
variations
believe.
Of the
So I guess nobody really knows what it is.
True.
The rules are simple. 1, grab a couple friends, go into the bathroom, turn off the lights. 2, stand in front of a mirror and chant Bloody Mary at least 3 times, more if nothing happens. And 3, if performed correctly, a ghostly figure of Bloody Mary will appear in the mirror. So that's the newer legend. Mm-hmm. The one with like walking backwards up the stairs was like the older urban legends. So, unlike many ghosts, Bloody Mary is said to be capable of physical harm. If Bloody Mary does appear in the mirror, she might scratch your eyes out, try to strangle you, decapitate you, or steal your soul. Some say she might offer you a glimpse of your future or be a friendly spirit. She may appear hideously mutilated or beautiful but bloody. Of course, anyone who is foolish enough to provoke Bloody Mary is said to pay the price. If she is in a merciful mood, Bloody Mary is said to simply turn her victims insane, or she may take a fancy to someone and drag them into the mirror, presumably to the other side, like the ghosts in Poltergeist, or possibly even drag them to hell.
Ooh,
Did you ever do Bloody Mary?
No, I was just gonna ask you that. I never did. No.
Never?
No, I've told you this before, but your husband terrified me.
Yeah.
He said that Bloody Mary lived in our grandma's mirror. And my grandma would let me eat anything.
Yeah.
Like when I would stay with her, she would let me eat anything and as much as I wanted. So I would get sick a lot
Really?
at her house, like
Oh my
throw
God.
up sick. So I spent a lot of time in her bathroom as
So
a
that
child.
was just like terrifying.
Yeah. So I was always scared. Sick and scared.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a good thing that you didn't do it.
Yeah. No, at least I don't ever remember doing it.
I did like multiple times, but nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Well, except like one time me and my friend Erica did it at the like public library in the basement. There was a bathroom there and we went down there, and I'm pretty sure we've done it like multiple times in there, but it was like we would just like say it 3 times and then literally like run out. Like we wouldn't like sit in there and like chant and look in the mirror or anything, but I feel like one time we did it, like the lights turned off or something, or like the door handle was like jammed or something. So I remember like running out of the library and like being scared, but I don't actually remember like seeing anything in the mirror.
Yeah.
So who is she actually? Who is the urban legend based on? Is it Queen Mary the First of England, also known as Mary Tudor, who is known for persecuting Protestants during her reign? Mary Worth, a Puritan woman who faced trials for witchcraft in the 1600s? Countess Elizabeth Bathory, a Hungarian noblewoman accused of murdering hundreds of women and drinking their blood? These are the most notable potential figures, but we will never truly know. The urban legend Hanako-san in Japan. Yeah, I remember.
Heard of that. Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, and then I saw it and looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like really familiar.
I think I've watched some like YouTube videos where they do the not Bloody Mary, but the Hanako.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to look some up.
I don't remember if anything happened. I don't think anything happened in those videos, but yeah, it's scary, the like actual legend of it. So I think that's the one where she like falls and hits her face on the water spout or something. I don't know. And that's like my biggest fear, like kids in the bathtub.
That one, I remember like Two Girls, One Ghost did that one.
Yeah.
And I remember it was like Darumi-san or something.
Yeah.
But like, so for the Hanako-san one, that one's kind of like Bloody Mary. Like there's like different variations of like what that one could be. So in Japan, it strongly parallels the Bloody Mary mythology. It's about the spirit of a young girl named Hanako who haunts bathrooms.
Okay. I think I'm thinking of a different one then.
I know. I thought that it was the same one too, because I know what one you're talking about, where she hits her face on there, and then you're supposed to go in the bathtub and like say her name or something.
And I think she like talks to you or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to say like Darumi-san fall down or something like that. Does that sound?
Yeah,
I remember
think that's the
like
right
hearing
one.
about it, and I was literally like scared to take a bath after that, and like scared that I was gonna slip out of my bathtub and like fall on my face.
It's my biggest fear. That like it's specifically with children because they're just like the right height.
I know, and like why are children spirits like so much creepier?
They're so creepy.
Like it's
I think it's just because like children, it's so unnatural for a young
Yeah.
child to like die.
Yeah.
And
And
then
for them to be evil too.
Yeah.
Like they should be like nice
Yeah.
and like sweet.
carefree.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, hate it.
So Hanako-san is a spirit of a young girl named Hanako who haunts bathrooms. She is said to be a ghost of a World War II era girl who was killed while playing hide and seek during an air raid. That she was either murdered by a parent, a stranger, or that she committed suicide in a school toilet due to bullying. In Japanese schools, children challenge their classmates to try to summon Hanako-san by knocking 3 times on the third stall and asking if she is present. If she is there, she will reply with some variation of "yes, I am." Depending on the story, the individual may then witness the appearance of a bloody or ghostly hand. The hand of Hanako-san herself may pull the individual into the toilet, which may lead to hell, or the individual may be eaten by a 3-headed lizard who claims that the individual was invading Hanako's privacy.
Oh my gosh.
And that is like pretty much, it does parallel Bloody Mary, like kids like daring each other to go in the bathroom and like instead of chanting her name 3 times, you knock 3 times.
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people have stories about like Hanako-san and
Yeah.
stuff that like creeps me out.
Yeah. Ugh.
But it just like anytime I hear about like bathrooms and like stuff like that, I just think of Moaning Myrtle.
Oh yeah. I also like public bathrooms in like specifically the bathroom at, is it TJ Maxx? No, I think it's like Hobby Lobby in Duluth.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Every time I go in there, nobody else is in there, and it gives me the creepiest vibe.
Really?
I don't know what it is about public bathrooms.
I know.
Like, and if
there
no one's
is
in
something
there,
about that that's like eerie.
yeah, I feel like something is gonna show up, or I'm gonna like see someone walk in, but then nobody walks out.
That's how I feel here.
Yeah.
Like going to the bathroom here, especially when I'm here alone. Like I always hear noises.
Yeah.
And like Jake too will be like, "Did you just hear that? It sounded like one of the kids was like running down the steps." Like down those steps over there, and I'm like, no, they're always like in the back playing.
Oh my gosh. I've heard a few noises out there while you've been talking.
I just heard one when you said that.
There's definitely like, I heard something and I was like,
I definitely think that
I think that was a car.
was haunted.
I think so too.
Like I don't know if it's like haunted, like if I don't know. I feel like there's something in here that's messing with
I don't know
things.
if it came from
those or if it was
something
here already.
Yeah.
Because this is really old.
Yeah.
But yeah, those dolls probably didn't help very much.
Probably not. They probably,
Yeah, we did get
activity.
a new doll in our collection. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. She's in the middle shelf there with the pink dress.
This one?
On the bottom, or the one right under that.
Oh!
Yeah. And she is very haunted. I used like the EMF meter on her and it would not stop going off. And I got it from the antique shop here, like Clara's.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a French, like, bisque doll from like the 1800s. And I opened Ghost Tube when I got home when I brought her there, and like the first thing it said was Brandy, and then it like I didn't say anything, and then like a minute later it said Brandy again, and then I like took out my camera and took a video of it, and like the EMF meter was green, and then I said Brandy and it started flashing.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know, she doesn't really look like a Brandy to me, but
no.
I don't know. We can find out some more about her with like our spirit box and stuff.
Oh, that doll looks like a haunted doll.
I know. Yeah, she creeps me out, but I love her. I just love Harold.
My guy. I love him.
He's my favorite.
He's just, he is a cute doll.
I know.
Besides the fact.
I know. I don't know what it is about him. like attached to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like possessing me.
Oh gosh. Maybe he's just one of the good spirits.
Yeah, I feel like he is. I don't feel like negative energy from him.
No.
Like a
no.
lot of like those other ones, like that one on the top left.
Yeah.
That one I
ugh.
feel bad, and the Heather one with the tilted head.
That one scares me.
I feel like bad vibes from those, but Harold, I feel like he's
just
our
chilling.
guy.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find very many stories about Bloody Mary, but I did find some on Reddit. So I'll read a few of those ones. And these are all really old too. Like this one is 3 years ago. This one's from Jessica Lynn 002. She said, I've been called crazy for telling this story, and typing it out might be difficult, but here we go. When I was 13, me and my friends played it at a friend's birthday party. We did everything properly, completely dark in the bathroom other than one candle lit, and we spun around. I remember as we chanted her name multiple times. We all stopped when we saw a red dot that looked like a camera light in the mirror. It then turned pitch black and began to grow. We were all in shock, I believe, because no one said anything and we all just stared in the mirror. It all happened so fast. Once it was decently big in the middle of the mirror, a very pale hand came out of it. We all screamed, and it took us a good 30 seconds that felt like an eternity to get the door that seemed stuck for some reason open. Our friends that didn't participate didn't believe us until they saw that all our nails were very short, but I had a scratch mark all up my arm that I ended up blaming on the sink, and my friend that was next to me had marks up her back. Both of us were bleeding. The scratches burned insanely as well. Never tried anything like that again. Also, to mention, we chose to chant it instead of saying it 3 times because 3 times never seemed to work, so it was more like a small ritual than the average Bloody Mary game. So I wonder if that's why something happened. Because I've seen, so the thread I was looking on, there was a bunch of comments that were like, nope, I've tried it a bunch of times, nothing happens. And then a lot of the ones that did say something happened said that they like repeatedly said her name, like a
Yeah.
lot more than 3 times. And some of the like other variations of it say that you have to say it like one of them says 13 times, one of them says 47 times.
My gosh.
Like, that just seems excessive.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's too much work. I feel
I've
like
only done it 3 times.
Yeah. I feel like that makes sense though, like kind of ritual like
Like
summoning.
chanting it, yeah.
And then with multiple people doing it too.
Yeah.
Getting that energy.
I know. Yeah, because, like, when you have more than one person, your energy is all, like, channeled together.
Yeah.
So, I believe that happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stories I read, too, involved, like, a bloody hand or, like, a hand holding a knife, like, in the mirror. So, I don't know if that's, like, a thing that, like, if you do summon her, if, like, everybody sees the same thing.
Yeah.
Or not, or if it depends on if she likes you or not, I guess.
Yeah.
Rapid Iris 1901 said, when I was around 8 years old, I invited my neighbor over for a sleepover at my dad's house. Her family was very religious and she didn't believe in anything paranormal, so I have always been more in tune with spiritual things. I dared her to try the Bloody Mary ritual with me after everyone went to sleep. I figured if she didn't believe in it, then she can use this opportunity to prove me wrong. While we were chanting, nothing seemed to happen besides the usual tricks your mind plays when staring into a mirror in a dimly lit room. She loved it and was bragging quite a bit until I ended up getting upset and going to sleep shortly after, me on the floor and her in my bed. Next thing I remember is waking up in the middle of the night and seeing a girl laying on her stomach on the floor in front of my bed. She was wearing a floral nightgown, propping her chin up with her hands, and had her knees bent up, feet crossed in the air, looking straight at the bed, like longingly or taunting, maybe. It was fucking creepy the way she was looking at her. The air felt so tense that I was scared to move. After a second or two, I hear a few whimpers from my friend, who seemed to be curled up facing the wall with the covers pulled over her head. I can't really breathe at this point, and I'm scared shitless, even though she wasn't focused on me. All I remember from here is pulling my sleeping bag over my head and passing out until morning. She didn't remember waking up at all, but she said she had a nightmare about being held down by someone until she drowned in a bathtub full of blood.
First of all, how nice of her to give her bed
I know,
to her.
I
I
was
was like,
thinking that too. I was like, wait, you're sleeping on the floor?
yeah, what is that? Couldn't be me.
No, whenever like I had sleepovers, I was always like taking the good pillows and
Yeah.
blankets. Like, nope, it's my house.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I had a full size bed a lot of my childhood, so I could always
Share it.
fit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have a friend too who had like a twin size bed, and no, she never let me sleep on her bed. I always slept on the floor.
I know. Every time I stayed at like friend's house too, I stayed like on the floor too.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is nice for that.
Yeah, but I can't imagine like waking up and seeing
Imagine
that. Like
like
that's such a weird position too for her to be
I
just be like
know,
with her feet
and
in the air.
yeah, and imagine just like I would be so scared, like, oh my god, she's about to look over at me
Yeah.
and come for me. Like that would
Yeah,
be
because
what I'd be
she'd
most scared
have to
of.
be so close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But I also feel like a lot of the stories I saw were like scary things happening to people that didn't believe in her, or that
Mm,
like made like jokes about it, or like were like,
yeah.
oh, this is dumb, it's not real, nothing happened, and then something would happen to them.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe because her friend was so religious and didn't believe in it, and she said she was bragging like
Yeah.
about nothing happening, I feel like maybe that's why she was only focused on the friend
Yeah.
and not the other girl. But still, that's terrifying.
Even if it wasn't gonna do anything to me, and I still wouldn't want to see it. That's
I don't know how she went back to sleep after
yeah.
that. I would be up, like, waking my friend up,
I'd
like,
be in my parents'
yeah,
room, like
literally.
leave my friend in that room by herself.
Yeah, a lot of the stories I read, people are like, yeah, this happened,
And then I just
and then
rolled
I just
over.
went back to sleep. Like, what do you mean you went back to sleep?
Oh no
If I
way!
wake up in the middle of the night and even think of something scary in my head, I'm awake
I have
and
to like
can't fall back
yeah, I have to like look at
asleep.
my phone and find something
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Like oh
Like, I don't get how so many people, I've read stories that are like that.
yeah, no, thank you.
This is also 4 years ago, by a deleted account. They said I did it once when I was younger by myself before bedtime. Nothing happened, but when I went to bed that night, I ended up having a really vivid dream. In that dream, I was in my bedroom and the wallpaper on the walls started melting, and I hear a woman laughing nonstop.
Mm-mm.
The laughing is just.
Yeah, that's a no for me.
I tried to run out of the bedroom, but the doorknob was missing. I turned around and noticed something in my small mirror by my bed. I ended up smashing the mirror, and when I woke up, that mirror was on my floor and my hand was cut. So, I
Oh
know. So, like, was she having like astral projecting and like that did
yeah,
happen?
I've had something similar happen to me. I've had this dream catcher like my whole life, and when I moved to Bemidji, I had it like hanging on the side of my bed, and I was sleeping and I had like the scariest dream, and then I woke up, rolled over, and fell back asleep, and then in my second dream that I had, I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Well, the reason you had such a bad dream is because your dream catcher fell off your bed." And I was like, okay. And then I woke up the next morning and it was on the floor.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird. That reminds me, I forgot I never told you about that dream I had that I was going to tell you about.
Yeah.
I literally like still think about it because it freaked me out so bad,
Oh,
and it involves Harold.
oh
So,
no.
like, and it's weird because usually like I don't remember details from dreams, but
Mm,
I like can still remember a lot of details, and this was like weeks ago that I
mm,
had the dream. So, I don't know where We were, but you and me were going somewhere. Like, I was driving and I was literally sleeping while I was driving. And
Oh.
like, we were both just so tired and like, my eyes were closed, but I was like driving the car and I was talking to you and I was like, Amber, I'm sleeping. And then, and then the car like veered into somewhere and then I appeared in like a dorm room and it was like partially a dorm room, partially a house because there was like an attic that I could see like up high, like a triangle shaped
Oh,
like
yeah.
attic up in the left corner with like a window and I heard pounding on like the dorm room door and somebody came in there and Jake was in the bed like next to me and I was trying to wake him up and he wouldn't wake up. Like I woke up in the dream and I was sweating and I looked up and saw like the attic and just Harold was sitting up there and nothing else. And I was
Oh.
like pushing on him like that and I was like, wake up and he would not wake up. And then um a voice. I don't even know who it was. Like two people, I heard a voice, and then two people that I don't know, like two girls, appeared and they were like talking to each other. And I was like, who are you guys? Like, what are you doing in here? And they were like, don't you know that he's haunted? And they were pointing to Harold. And then I heard five loud, like, pounds on the dorm room door. And after I heard like the pounding is like right when I woke up in my bed and I heard the pounding right above my ceiling, like coming from our attic. And
Oh,
Louis was
no.
sleeping on my feet. And like right when I woke up and heard, like, so I only heard the pounding in real life like twice,
Mhm.
but it was like literally a part of the dream. Like it was like 5 pounds in the dream,
Yeah.
but the last two were like real. And so Louis, my cat, was sleeping on my feet, like right here, and at the same exact second that I like opened my eyes and heard it, he was like licking his paw and he stopped and went like this and looked up at the ceiling.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god. That's terrifying.
like think about it like every day.
I wonder if the two girls were like one of these other
I
dolls.
know. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. That just gave me
That's
chills.
so scary.
And it was like so creepy how they were like, don't you know he's haunted? Like, why is he in here?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Oh.
and he was just sitting up there by himself, like he was like smiling though, like his
Oh, his
face was like
not.
smiling.
See, that gives off scary vibes for
I
Harold, but like,
know,
I just don't get.
I don't feel like that in like real life from him.
Telling you, it was
So
probably one of these, two of
like
these other dolls
I
trying to
know,
make
trying
it
to trick
seem.
us
Yeah.
into thinking he's the bad one. Yeah, I didn't even think about it being the other dolls. That's like creepy. But I woke Jake up because I was seriously like freaked out. I
Yeah.
literally thought there was someone in our attic, which would be like, I mean, not impossible, but he looked up there like when we moved in and
Mm.
it's not like you can even go up there and walk around. It's just like beams.
Oh,
So
yeah.
nobody could like I don't have a Frogger because they couldn't
Yeah.
unless it's a ghost Frogger. But I woke him up and told him and he was like, "Well, that's happened to me before where I've thought that like I heard stuff when I woke up." And I was like, "No, I heard pounding and Louis looked up at the
Yeah.
ceiling." That's like how I knew that it was like real is
Yeah, I
cuz
was
he
gonna
looked up
say.
there at the same time.
Yeah, it could have been like a sleep paralysis
Mhm.
moment, but the
That's what
fact
I
that your cat
yeah.
reacted to,
Mhm. Yeah. What was
I
that?
don't know.
It sounded kind of like a whisper.
No, thank you.
Why? Every time.
Ooh.
But yeah, that was one of them. And then right after that one, I like would not stop thinking about it. Okay, so the next day I opened GhostTube here and it said dreams. And I literally like got full body chills
Ugh.
and I was like, can you help me develop my like spiritual or psychic any type of like abilities? And it was like absolutely dreams. And
Oh
that's
my
what it said and then I
gosh.
like shut it off because I got freaked out. And then it was either the next day or a couple days after that I like was talking in my head when I was falling asleep and I was like, send me signs, give me a message through my dreams to like interpret. And I fell asleep like petting Louis, like I was like half asleep and I was like petting him like this, and then he was in my dream and he turned into a cheetah and started like running. And in my dream, I was like, oh, so I really can control everything that happens in my dreams. Like, that's what I said in my dream. And I was like, I like was thinking in my head, like, I want to turn Louis into a cheetah. And then,
That's
and I
crazy.
felt I was like aware, like self-aware, like in my dream. And I've
Yeah.
never like had a dream like that before.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. What are they?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain word for
Like
that.
lucid dreaming.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know, it was weird. I don't feel like it was that though, because that was the only thing I did.
It
And
was
then
like your dream self that
yeah,
was. It wasn't like
it
your
wasn't
actual.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's weird that I said that. Like, oh. And it was like I was trying to tell myself, like, oh, hey, you can control your
Yeah.
dreams.
Yeah.
It was just like kind of like unsettling.
Did the psychic that we saw? She said one of us has like the.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she say something about dreams?
Did she?
I feel like I remember her saying like. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just like imagining this.
I forgot I recorded it. I'll have to like see if I can find that.
I feel like I remember her saying like one of us has like the abilities and you just have to like do something with it. But I swear she said something about dreaming too. Like something with your dreams.
I'm gonna look after we're done and see if I can find the. You didn't record yours, did you?
No.
I'm
Wish I
gonna
did.
see if I can find mine and see if there's anything about it in there. Yeah, it's just really weird. But I haven't had one like that since. But it was like I had those dreams after I was like thinking about it like a bunch. So I
Yeah.
feel like maybe I like manifested it, but I want to like look into like what dreams mean, like
Yeah.
dream interpretation, because I have like a lot of dreams that are weird like that, but I forget most of them.
Yeah.
But the Harold one, like I keep thinking about it all the time because the knocking scared me so bad when I
That's.
woke up.
Ugh, I don't like that.
No. And I don't like that they're trying to say Harold is bad
Yeah.
because I don't think he
I don't
is.
think he is either.
Do you guys think he's bad?
Look at him. Look at his sweet little face.
I've noticed like on TikTok, so we posted like a few TikToks with like the dolls in it. So many people comment on videos and they're like, I don't want any bad energy from
Yeah.
that doll. Like, I'm sorry for looking at you in the eyes. Like, people don't like him.
Sounds like it's coming from like right back here, but that's not
and why is it
possible.
only when we're recording an episode?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm sitting in here doing stuff, it doesn't happen. I literally think we're like manifesting it like something to be haunted by like talking about it or something, or like having these dolls in here.
Yeah.
But I
And
swear.
then of course we were just talking about the dolls, and
I
then
know. I know. Okay.
and I've never heard that noise in here before
No,
either.
that like kind of made me jump when I
Yeah.
heard it. Like it sounded like something was about to fall.
Oh god, I hate it. I hate it, but I love it.
Who's in here?
Harold? Is it you?
We do have that REM pod too. We could turn it on. This is our REM pod for our ghost hunts that we're gonna do.
Okay, I'm sorry. See if that goes off sitting there.
If that goes off, I'm out of here.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Okay. So, this is another 4-year-old story by Major Valtori Whitlock. Anyway, I was at a group sleepover and we tried. I had and still have insomnia, so I stayed up an hour later reading. I heard her walking around downstairs, wailing and screaming and crying. She slowly walked around down there and then came up the stairs, paused, and tried to open the locked door, then went into the bathroom we tried it in. We were the only people in the house, and all external doors and windows were locked. The only possible entry would be a trash tunnel, and that opening is too small for a person to fit through.
That sounds like La Llorona,
It
kind of, with the
does.
crying.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So when I was looking stuff up about it, it said, like, no, Bloody Mary's not real, but the psychology behind it is, and that your brain, like, basically tricks you into seeing what you think you're gonna see or hearing what you think you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I feel
I
that could be why so many people like have the same like story of what
yeah.
they see in the mirror, but also I don't know. I don't think it's all in your head.
No, I have heard though if you like look if you stare at yourself in the mirror for so long that you're like your brain will eventually like distort your features
Yeah,
and stuff.
I have done that and it was scary.
I've been too scared to try.
I did it like not recently, like I'm too scared now, but when I was like a teenager, I did it and it was like seriously like creepy. Like I didn't even feel like I was like myself.
Ugh.
Like after like you look for a certain amount of time, you literally like feel I felt like I was like disassociating like in front of the mirror. I don't know. I wonder like what causes that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like some function in your brain that's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Another Reddit story 2 years ago by beginning by 72. When I was in middle school in the 90s, my sister and I were at a sleepover at a friend's house and decided to play Bloody Mary in the bathroom. We didn't believe that she was real and we weren't scared at all. We didn't expect to experience anything supernatural. We turned the lights off, let our eyes adjust a bit, then looked in the mirror and said Bloody Mary slowly 3 times. After the third time, my reflection, the little I could make out, started to distort into what I can only describe as evil. My mouth was closed, but in the reflection it was open and abnormally wide. The thing in the reflection had green skin, and instead of eyes, there were big empty sockets. My sister saw it too, and we started screaming and crying and bolted out of the bathroom. I still don't know what we experienced that night. I still think about this decades later. I've read that our brains can trick us into seeing things that aren't really there, but we both saw the exact same thing.
Yeah, see, that's another, yeah. Because it would be one thing if only you saw it, but like
Mm-hmm.
their
Yeah.
sister too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ugh.
I'm like intrigued by it, but I'm too scared to do it again
Yeah.
just because of like a lot of stuff I saw said that it's not actually Bloody Mary, but you're like opening yourself up to like spirits. So it could just be like an evil spirit or a
Yeah.
demon like
Oh.
trying to come and like
Yeah, I
trick
guess
you or something.
it's like the
Because,
same thing as like using a Ouija board. You're just like trying
yeah,
to
like
communicate
you're
with something.
summoning them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
And one thing I saw said that like Bloody Mary is like a key word for like spirits. So like it's like a
Oh.
trigger word. So it can like trigger other spirits to come because they
Hmm.
know that you're trying to summon spirits when you're
Yeah.
like saying that. So that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I probably would do it again. I would do it here.
Yeah.
I kind of want to do it here now.
Should we?
Just because yeah, should we? We could do it live
Yeah.
and take a video of it. Yeah, I would probably do it here. There's like a mirror in that bathroom up here, and
Yeah.
there's one in the bathroom downstairs. I just wouldn't do it like at home.
That's how I feel about like anything
Mm-hmm.
spooky. I'm like, I don't wanna the
I
most
don't
I do at
know.
home is like my tarot cards.
Yeah, I do like my tarot cards and like ghost
Oh
tube
yeah, I guess I've
and
done that too, yeah.
but I still don't think I would do like a Ouija board
I'm not ready
at
for that.
all
Yeah.
anywhere.
No, too scary.
But I would probably do Bloody Mary in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Feels a little harmless
I just
ish.
like I've done it so many times as a kid. Like it's literally like a childhood thing, like all those stories were saying, oh, my friends dared me to do this. Like me and my friends were always like, let's go do Bloody Mary, like all the time in school and at the library. And I've done it like at my parents' house too.
Yeah.
And then I did feel like my parents' house was haunted, but they never felt like that. So I was scared of like everything as a kid. So I think they just thought that I was just making stuff up in my head. But
Yeah.
I always would see, if I was home alone, like their living room was like here and then the kitchen is right here, and I would see someone walking past like out of the corner of my eye, like I'd be looking at the TV this way, and I would always see something like this, and there was
Oh.
never anything there.
Yeah, I think my mom was in. Well, I think she still is slightly in denial that her house is haunted, but
I still want to go to your mom's
yeah,
house and
we
like,
we have to.
yeah,
Whether it's just my great grandparents because they both died in the house, or it never feels. I think it just feels scary because it's.
because you don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
but yeah, I remember a few times just like hearing noises out in the kitchen from my bedroom, just like cupboards opening,
Oh,
chairs moving.
that freaks me out.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
just imagine it was my great grandma cooking.
yeah, we need to go to your mom's house and
Yeah.
see if we pick up anything there.
But now that you said the about like doing it in schools, I do remember being in like second or third grade. Um, and we always would say that the bathroom at our school was haunted, and I can't remember if we did Bloody Mary, but I just always remember being in there and everyone was like, "It's haunted in here."
It's such like a little like middle school or like
Yeah.
elementary school thing. 'Cause I feel like we said that at our school too. Like our bathroom was haunted,
It's the
but
public bathrooms. I don't
it
know. They're
is. There's
creepy.
something about them. I don't know what it is, but
Ugh,
also like so many people go in and out of there too. Like so
true.
much like energy and whatnot. So I don't know.
Ugh.
So I have the other urban legend is it's like a internet urban legend, I guess. So it's called A Parallel Life slash Awoken by a Lamp. So my last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note, he was 325 pounds, I was 120 pounds. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside of the house. When my daughter was 2, my wife bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work and doted on him and my daughter. One day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first. Soon I stopped that too, as I wasn't eating or drinking. I stared at the fucking lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance was breaking up and my wife was freaking out. She took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. The lamp is not real. The house is not real. My wife, my kids, none of that is real. The last 10 years of my life are not fucking real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions. It took up my entire perspective, and all I could see was red. I heard voices, screams, all kinds of weird noises, and I became aware of pain. A fucking shit ton of pain. The first words I said were, I'm missing teeth, and opened my eyes. I was laying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out. I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, dragged/walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I was taken to the hospital by the cop, seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive, and given CT scans. I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane as I would cry myself to sleep, hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son, usually just a glimpse out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he says. He said, I've had many messages describing similar experiences and 3 posters stating such experiences are impossible. I'd say more research needs to be done on brain functions. Pre-med students don't assume you know everything.
That's like, I feel like I've seen like TikToks or just like random posts where it's like, it feels like mostly women who have a dream about like having a child and then they wake up and then
Yeah,
they get
and
sad because
yes.
they don't have that child.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a near death experience kind of a
Like
thing.
10 years
Yeah,
of
you
your
just lived
life
10 years of your
and
life
it
and
wasn't real. I would like literally be insane, I think.
yeah, I'd have to be hospitalized
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
too. Like for the rest of my life, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, how would you know? I feel like you would just not know, like, okay, is this real now? Or
Yeah,
is this fake and I'm gonna wake up again in 10 years?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
that
feel
would
like I
be,
would spiral into, like, a craziness.
yeah.
And,
Ugh.
like, how depressing. Like,
Yeah,
imagine raising your kids for 10 years and they didn't even ever exist. Like, that is depressing.
yeah.
I feel really bad for the person who posted that.
My one thing is I don't like the my wife bore me a
I
child. I don't
know.
know why. I
Like,
just don't like
I know.
don't
Like,
love it.
could have worded that
Yeah.
different. Like, me and my wife had a
Yeah. My wife birthed
beautiful baby
yeah. My
girl.
wife birthed a child. I feel like I'd rather hear that than
Mm-hmm.
bore a child.
Bore, like you forced her or
Yeah.
something.
It
Yeah.
feels very like old timey.
Old fashioned.
Yeah.
Like, the woman cooks and cleans and has babies and that's it.
Bore you a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also remember, like, a similar story about, like, a female who had a dream for, like, 3 years or something about like being pregnant and having a baby and then waking up and it was not real. Like,
It's
I
just
just feel like that's so insane.
yeah.
Like, I wonder how long they were like asleep or unconscious for in real life for
Yeah.
it to feel like 10 years.
I mean, it doesn't. I can't imagine it was that long. The way it like
Yeah,
sounds. If they weren't even, the cop couldn't even wait for an ambulance,
right.
so it really couldn't have been that long.
It's crazy. There's so much that we don't know about like our brain
Yeah.
function and everything.
Well, because you only use like a certain percent of it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember the percentage, but
Yeah.
just
I
imagine.
definitely believe that we are all born with abilities to do things, and that over time we forget that we have them because society doesn't want us to know that we
Yeah.
have like abilities to do things, so that
Mm.
we just eventually forget about it. And like people say, like, no, that's not real. Like, ghosts aren't real, spirits aren't real, this isn't real. And that's what you're
Mm-hmm.
taught, like, when you're a kid. So I don't know. It's creepy to think about, though.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
Me either. That's what I'm like paranoid about happening, is like falling asleep and like being stuck in a dream or something.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
Does sound very Inception-y.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen that movie one time.
Yeah, me too. But I get it. Yeah, that's Bloody Mary and the lamp story. So I feel like we should do Bloody Mary
Yes.
and record it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, see what happens. And then we can just go from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have any Bloody Mary stories, send them to us.
Yes. Any Hatman stories?
Mm-hmm. any stories in
Yeah,
general.
yeah.
Like, we still don't have any emails from
Just
anyone.
email us, please.
Please, we are begging you.
Even if it's like 2 sentences.
Yeah. Even if you, like, you don't have to say your name, anything. It can be completely anonymous.
Yes.
Thanks, girlies and ghoulies, for joining us. Those were some seriously spooky tales.
But hopefully not too scary, because we want you to join us again next week when we'll be swapping stories about creepy kids.
Trust me, you don't want to miss it. We are also on Patreon for $5 a month. You'll have access to all episodes 1 week early, behind the scenes footage, our live full moon ghost hunts during every full moon of the month, our haunted doll segment, Tarot Tuesdays where we do readings and share ghost stories, and automatic entry into a monthly Girly Ghost Tales giveaway.
Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and email us your ghost stories and anything paranormal at girlyghosttales@gmail.com. New episode release every Friday at 6 p.m. Central.
Until next time, and remember, if you hear a whisper in the dark, it's probably just us.
But just in case, keep your lights on and your doors locked. Remember, the veil is always thinner than you think.
Good night.